So every beginning blues harmonica player has one key question, and that is, how should I hold my harmonica? Now, I've treated this subject in several other videos in the course of my 9 years on YouTube, but I'm always looking to optimize, to refine, to maybe share a few tips and tweaks, and to compress. So I'm going to try to do all that in as quick and expeditious a way as I can. So there are two basic ways of holding the harmonica. This is for people who want to play blues primarily. And no, this is not one of them. Although I'm perfectly fine when you're just looking at your harp, when you've just begun, if you want to hold it like this. That's fine, right? So this is sort of improvised. This is if you don't know anything else. Key thing is, most players, the great majority of players, hold it in their left hand, whether they're lefties or righties. So that's the first thing. I'm holding it in my left hand. The few people who hold it in their right hand tend to hold it upside down, interestingly enough. And the reason for that is because this is where the cupping action is. Okay? So I'm going to hold it in my left hand. Notice what I'm doing. I have my fingers equidistant, top and bottom. This is really important. And by the way, the fact that it says Hohner, I happen to endorse Hohner, equidistant. Now, you can find harmonica instruction manuals that show you something like that. Why are they no good? Because they lock your wrist. It's very hard to bend your wrist, and you want to have flexibility. The moment you go like this, your wrist can move. Ah, very good, very good, very good. So that's one way to hold it. Notice I have my two fingers. I'm holding it pretty hard. In the old days, guys pressed so hard that they actually flattened the cover plates. I'm then going to kind of curl my fingers in. 1, 2, 3 looks like a clamshell. Look at that now. What I'm going to do is move around and show you what it looks like from this side. So again, notice, right? Kind of neat, compact. There's a little bit of space here, but that's not too bad. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I've got this. That's the first thing. Now, you can play everything if you want like this. And by the way, notice this finger coming down across the back. That gives you a really good, solid foundation. So this is a great way to start. And I'm using a D-flat harp, so don't worry that your harp sounds, if you have a C, that it's a little lower. Now, you notice I already started something there. What am I doing? Well, I'm holding it like this, but now this is where even pros diverge. What I do, okay, is I make it so that my hands look like this. So what you want to do is, if you want to cup water with your left and right thumb out, your right fingers are flattened across the top of your left fingers. Well, that's actually what it looks like. Let me take that back. That's what it looks like. Except that this left thumb, this is very important, in this reference standard grip, the left thumb is below the harp. Pay attention, because the other grip has it on the side, okay? So it's below. Now, I've got this and I've got this. What do I do with my right thumb? Well, here's what's interesting. You can put it against the edge if you want, okay? That works. Or you can take your thumb and forefinger. Ah, c'est magnifique, ça! And you can actually loop it like that. Isn't that funny? Now you might say, well, why would I do that? I'm blocking off the upper holes. Yeah, but most of the playing you're going to be doing is going to be in the lower holes. And you can always extend it. Now here's the really cool thing about this grip. If I rotate my wrist, watch this. I'm going to rotate my hand. It'll just pivot like that. And when you do that, you get that real Sonny Boy Williamson, Rice Miller kind of wah-wah. And I'm getting that again just by rotating the wrist. You don't have to do it very much. The key thing is, got to make sure you got the seal here has to be tight. That's very important. If you got a big gap like this, it doesn't really make a wah-wah. What you're doing is you're changing actually the frequency spectrum, and you're muting all the highs, and then you're opening them up and you're letting them out. That's really important. But especially the highs on the low notes. Notice again, I'm rotating like this. That's reference grip number 1. Now you can also wah-wah. I think I'll do that in a different video, but very different from that. Notice two different kinds of wah-wah. I think I'll do a different one on wah-wah. Anyway, that's the first grip. Like this, Put the hand up, looks like that. From this side, looks like that. Now, that's not how I hold it most of the time. I know how to hold it that way, but it's not how I hold it. I do it the other way, that a kid showed me when I was starting to play as a senior in high school. This kid showed me in the boys' bathroom, and he said, check this out. Well, now, that looks the same, right? What's the difference? Well, the difference, first of all, notice that the thumbs, the dead giveaways, the thumbs from the viewer's side look like they're up at the top. The devil's horns, of course. And the biggest difference is that left thumb. Notice the left thumb the other way was down below. In this case, that thumb is coming and going out like this. Now, what does that accomplish? Well, number one is it opens up the bottom in a bad way. I've got a big triangle I've got to fill with my chin. So the key thing is if you want a wah-wah, you got to get your whole face up into the harp and fill that hole. Now to wah-wah that way, well, I'll show you this in a different video. This is not about a wah-wah, it's about how to hold it. Here's what I like about this. It gives you a real stable platform. It feels like the harp is centered between your two hands. You're not actually holding it with that left hand. It's really weird. It could just fall out, right? Look at that. It's kind of rickety with one hand, and that's why I don't use it when I'm playing acoustically, when I'm playing like on a vocal mic. I tend to hold it like this because I want a wah-wah, and this isn't quite as good if I get my hand away, right? But it feels really good, and for me, I play a lot of high notes, and I find that it's much more stable going up to the end. You see, this one, when you up to the high notes, you're kind of pushing the harp that way, right? Even if you hold it like this, well, yeah. When you got it like this, right? Check it out. Very sloppy playing. Anyway, you wanted to know the two ways. Those are the two ways. Once again, this one and this one. And I put my thumb, slide my thumb right down. Anyway, enough. This is supposed to be a quick video. I hope you've enjoyed this. You know what? Subscribe to my channel. I always forget to ask that. Gussow's classic blues harmonica videos. And there'll be more. And thanks for asking.